Hello, everyone. Welcome to another class of Cherry Time Crafts. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Jessica.
And this is Ava.
And today we are watercolor painting.
Yes.
This is a beginner-friendly class, so grab your watercolors and a surface to work on.
Some brushes.
Water.
Paper towels.
Always good. And let's get going.
Yeah. You're gonna want like a bigger brush and a smaller medium one. So at least two brushes. We kind of have a few here going on. Also some tape. If you would like to have like a border around your painting, it's nice to get it taped down and also help with the paper from warping and buffing.
Here's an
example we'll be painting today.
Of what we'll be painting. So yeah, you can see the sharp white border around it. That is optional, but
it just makes it look nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
So we have a lot of fall colors. We have trees, a little pathway. You'll see it a little closer as we get going.
Yeah, and then this one is very forgiving. Mm-hmm. You know, if you mess something up or you don't like it, just put a branch there or a bush, and you can cover things up very easily.
That's why I love watercolor paintings like this.
Yeah,
especially like nature paintings or like when you're painting a whole scene. Just comes together. You use certain colors that you like, and things just tend to work out.
Yeah.
So we'll walk you through it, though.
Yeah. Don't be scared. If you've never tried watercolor, don't be scared.
No,
we will help you out here. We are not experts either. We just like to have fun with it. Okay, there we go. Camera's ready. Hopefully everyone can see and hear us okay. Leave a comment if you're watching and with us so we know comments are working. And let us know if you ever painted before with watercolors.
If you knew, if you're excited.
Yes. Excited for fall. I'm excited. I've been ready for liking weather.
Yeah. Yeah, really. So I'm going to use this watercolor pad, and instead of first ripping out the page,
Eva.
Because I've heard quite a few times people don't know how to take it out of this without ripping it because both sides are kind of tacked down.
I always rip it.
You use the heat gun.
Right, just use a different pad.
You use a heat gun and it easily will come up. So once it starts warming up, so I figured I'd just show that.
Good idea. So if you have a pad that is like this,
use a heat tool or hair dryer or something to heat it up. Because otherwise these are really hard to take off.
And I have done it before. Just rip it off. I'm like, well, I'll use a smaller piece. Or I just don't. I'll use like the spiral ones. For notebooks or
easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Hoping this little girl will nap. We will see. I feel like I see that every time I have her during class.
Well, hope she naps today.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start taping down my paper here. Almost kind of hard to see against the light.
We could do it against the dirty table.
Should we move this maybe?
Yeah.
You guys can see
your dirty table.
It's full of art.
We usually put this down so you don't have to look at it as much. But
yeah.
Here it is.
Speckled everything.
Yeah. It's fine though. It's a craft table.
Yeah.
Which Prima watercolor kits do you have? Oh. Well, I'm using Prima watercolor paper, and then this is the complexion, which is like skin tones, but there's some really good browns and golds in here, so I figured I'd just pull it out for this. And then the Woodlands, and this one might be my favorite, especially for painting nature scenes like this. So yeah, the complexion and Woodlands.
Get a little higher so you can see.
And I don't think I'm going to tape my border this time. Because I might end up using this painting as a background for something.
Oh, good idea.
So I could just leave, the whole thing and turn it into a background of some sorts, or I don't know. So I was just going to paint it all the way to the edge. With the
All right. Are comments working on yours?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting some good comments.
All right. I can't even reach this.
Jennifer is ready to go.
All right.
Painting with
Jennifer.
us.
Awesome.
Well, that's your view all the time.
This is my view.
Just Ava head.
Ava head. She's getting a lot bigger, so very interesting trying to do things with her on me.
So we'll try to move this to get this whole page in the view. Let me just pull this over a little bit. All right. Okay, there, that's better.
Sorry, we're moving.
We're moving. Don't make it dizzy. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna start with a very wet brush, and let's start adding in some colors. So with this one here, I can show you the quicker look at this painting. So we have all of the trees. I like to break up the trees though, so this is like more of a sky area, so it's lighter. So I want to keep that in this painting. And then there's like this little winding path, and I also really like that. So maybe first I will map out where I want this winding path and where I want the trees to go. And we can go from there.
And you're going to be building up layers, so it's going to look kind of funny at first, like not like trees. But you're going to keep adding onto it.
I'm going to start with like a medium brown and just quickly put in this path. Maybe I'll do something like that. Okay, I'll go with it. So it's like an S.
Yeah.
A little S. And well, yeah, this is a layered thing. This will get more defined as we continue. I'm actually still at a point where you could completely change what this looks like too.
Mm-hmm.
And I recommend, use a pretty good sized brush. We're covering a large area, so you want your brush to get large with you. It would take it would take a really long time to paint this whole thing with a smaller brush. So grab a larger watercolor brush, especially when we're first filling in these large areas.
Yeah, we'll go in with details at the end.
Yeah.
That's when you'll want us getting your brush.
Now I'm going to put in like our horizon line, but very bushy like, because I don't want it to be like a stark. So like if you think of it of like when you look out at the water, where the water meets the sky, there's the horizon line. But when you're in the forest, it's all kind of covered by trees and bushes. Right. So that's what I mean, kind of like bushy like. So the horizon might go like that over here. And it might be red on this side. Kind of go more like that. So it's not a straight line. And then we'll also throw in some trees. So I liked that more of an open gap in this middle part. So I'm going to try to leave that again. It's easier to add more, harder to take away. So let's add a yellow tree over here. Ooh, that's very yellow. And also, the thing with watercolors, they dry lighter than what they look when they're wet. So if it looks super colorful, don't freak out yet. I mean, freak out a little bit.
Just a little.
You can also water it down.
Yeah.
Maybe this tree can go right here.
It's easier to start out lighter and
Mhm.
build up to color too.
Mhm.
Or you can just go bold right away, I guess.
Go
But
bold
it's
and
just
take less layers.
yeah.
Depends how much time you want to spend on it. How many details.
Yeah, how comfortable you are with the watercolors too.
Yeah.
I find it's easier if you're a beginner to go a little bit slower and kind of build them up. Easier to fix mistakes and whatnot.
So there I have my main three big tree. And now I just need to fill in the rest of the area here with some color. Need some orange. Need more of this road color. Make this continue. And if you have any questions while we're going, let us know.
Yeah. Ava will answer them. Ooh.
So I'm using the red and green and some of my dirt path color just to fill in area. Yeah. There's not really a right or a wrong. You want to add more green? Add more green. Maybe I'll add more green in this one than I did in this painting.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna also add a green tree.
I really like that red in there.
Yeah, I like the deep red and the deep green.
I think I want a different brush.
You want this one?
Yeah. This is just like a nice flat one for like washes, for like doing backgrounds, but when you're kind of putting in this color, I want my edges to look a little bit looser. Not so straight. There we go, that's better. So if you can see this one, it's just kind of like a bigger, rounder brush. But use whatever you have on hand though too. Try out a few different brushes to see what works for you. Sometimes you don't really know until you try. You're like,
That's a good brush.
This is working great, or
This
this
is
is not.
This is not a good brush. Yeah. Clint said it looks like cotton candy.
Cotton candy.
It kind of does. With these big fluffs in the sky.
Fluffs.
I'm kind of debating if I want to have more of a blue sky or, well, no. Because I like the color palette we're working with. So
Yeah,
I'm just going to keep it a really light yellow sky.
Ava is at this age that she loves spitting. She just likes the sound of it, I think. And she'll like do a fake cough too. Yeah.
Fake coughs all day.
Like I'm getting all of it from this. That's nice, thanks.
I'm just helping with the watercolor.
Yeah.
It's just some water. You're welcome, Mom.
So helpful. So helpful. Okay. Sometimes I kind of don't know to where I want some of this color,
Yeah.
but you can kind of change it too as you go.
Yeah. And that's too, like, you can kind of see as this is drying, it looks lighter than what it did when we put it on. So there is still a lot of room for adding layers on top of it. So far, it's coming along. See, I just always want to make the sounds with her.
Yeah.
I'm like, that does seem like a fun sound to me. You're right.
That does seem good.
That is a good sound. Why don't I never make that sound? Okay. So there, most of our background's filled in.
Yeah.
It's very like chunks of color.
Color blocking?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that you right? That's
Yeah.
the term, right?
That's what we have so far. And now we're just going to go for layer number 2. So layer number 2, we can start, well, or we could do some tree branches.
Yeah.
Start
I
blocking
think I might
those
be a
in.
little too wet for.
Yeah, might need to dry a little bit before tree branches. Could work on path a little bit more.
Yeah.
Define that a little bit. Take more of a darker color. And start defining this. Maybe go along the edge of it. Edge of this path. Just so you can see it a little bit better. How's your guys' paintings coming along? I think Jennifer said she's painting with us.
We'll just be here spitting.
Yep. Getting it really wet for watercolor. He understood the assignment. Though.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
good job.
ew.
There's a base.
Like we're painting? Here.
Eat water.
Here's some water.
Okay. Let's see.
I kind of want my path to come over here a little bit too, because in the original,
Yeah. It has
kind
like
of
the whole forefront.
almost splits up a little bit.
I do like that.
I do like the grass.
I was debating with this one though because it's a lot bigger page.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like almost double the width. If having so much path would be like too much path.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna kind of branch off over here and see how it goes. If I don't like it, I'm covering it with a tree or brush. That's the beauty of this nature scene.
Watercolor does dry pretty quick. So I'm just gonna let it dry so I get a little fanning.
Get a little fan.
Yeah.
We do have a dryer, but
You can just take the whole thing and fan for
unless it's taped.
Oh, yeah. No.
You can't quite do this.
Okay. So you see the path a little bit more.
I think it looks so
Yeah,
pretty like that.
It's kind I know, that's what I was just thinking. Class is over. It's like, yeah, I like the colors. See, that's what I mean with watercolors. I feel like you just pick good colors, and from there you can just kind of relax with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna start. Well, it's still kind of wet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out the
I
glue.
should try it, yeah.
I want to put in the branches next, and that'll determine where we want more leaves. And again, with the branches, this is just the first step of branches and like the tree trunks.
Mm-hmm.
So, like how we did with the first step, these are going to be layered. If you don't like something, we can still cover it up.
Mm-hmm. You definitely want it to be dry, otherwise your trunks are going to bleed into your background. It'll be very abstract that way.
Yeah.
Which is fine if that's
Yeah.
what the look you want.
But especially with going with a darker color like a brown. Ooh, I fessed some of that one, Ava.
For that splatter. So splatter of paint for us.
I mean, I splattered her this morning with paint,
Right.
so it's only fair. Honestly, it's only fair. A good thing if you did tape down your edges is your paper doesn't get all warpy as you're drying and painting. Just holds it down nice and tight. It's pretty good. It's dry. Pretty dry. Is that one dot right there? Okay.
And you can blot it with a paper towel too.
Speed up your dry.
Speed it up.
All right.
I'm not really sure what this
No, it's
red
trees.
blob there is, but it's gonna be
That's
a bush.
a bush. That's a bush. Yeah, it's one of those.
All right, I have to like turn so I can
Actually see.
my painting.
Okay.
Somebody's getting big.
So I have this big blob here, which I know I want a tree to be. And then I wanted bushes here, so I'm going to tuck a trunk somewhere in here, and I'll add bushes on top of it too. Adding tree trunks seems very scary, and it kind of is.
Yeah, I think when you add like your first one,
Yeah,
after
to
that,
just start drawing lines on
Yeah.
your painting. Yeah, it's kind of scary. And then also right now, like that looks kind of stupid. It'll get better. Just go with the flow.
Make it lighter too. I would go lighter and darken it later. Because if it's lighter, it's a little bit easier to fix too if you need to.
And then I have a big tree over here. So there's another line. And I'll tuck this one and these bushes. I want the trees to end at different places too. So this one ends a little lower than this one. I don't want like one line where all of these trees are resting. Okay, now this one. And the branches should also be smaller as the tree looks like it's more in the distance. So this one I wanted a little bit further to look like it's further away than this tree. So this tree has a thicker trunk. And then these will also get branches, which will help them not look like this too. When drawing branches, I think you gotta, so instead of like drawing a tree and then lines coming just straight from it, you gotta have like it branching off and have little smaller sections coming from your main sections and then smaller ones coming from that. And that's what makes it look more like a real tree. Like, just what I mean, with the branches coming off. And then
make
right
them
off that and off that.
Squiggly. Like, don't make anything
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah.
Real trees are not straight. Just take like a very light hand to it.
And if you don't like a branch, then that will get covered with leaves. So don't think too much into it right now. We're still very beginning stages. I'm going to have a couple trees look like they're going off the page. Over here. It's a dark one. So it looks like this is a nice big forest. Nice big tree there. Leaning in.
Ooh, I like that.
Also gives gives a little bit of framing to the piece as well. Maybe I'll bring it down here a little bit. Just kind of going with it. That's a big tree. Okay, now with it being so long, it looks like it's too skinny.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't like that anymore. Okay. If I don't like it anymore, I get it really wet and paper towel, dab it up. And now you can't hardly tell it was there, especially when I layer on top of it.
It's an amazing thing about watercolor.
I liked it better when
it was shorter.
When it was shorter. Yeah, I don't want it to take up the whole page. But it was worth a try.
Yeah. You don't know until you try it.
Exactly. Okay.
I'm kind of just making some skinnier trees back here.
That's also something that you really only can do if you're using watercolor paper. Because watercolor paper allows the medium to stay wet and rest on top of the page. It doesn't just absorb it immediately. So there's a little bit more playtime when you use actual watercolor paper.
I kind of want a bigger branch too. Or maybe higher up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I'm scared to do it.
It's scary. It's scary adding these dark lines through your painting.
Let's see. And you can even leave some spaces between your branches too to put in leaves.
Actually, it would be good if I was using a little bit smaller brush for this.
Oh.
So switching over. Smaller brush would be easier. A little bit more control.
You also don't have to add like a ton of trees.
Or a ton of branches.
Because it almost starts to look too
sticky.
Yeah. Too sticky, too cluttery.
And more can always be added later too.
Right.
We're just adding where some main branches that we want some leaves to go off of.
I don't know if I'll do a big tree or not. Maybe I'll make this one my bigger tree. It's just nice to have a contrast, like have different size trees. And that's usually what you see in nature. So I'm going to make this tree here a little bigger, wider. Which is easier to do than taking a wider tree going skinnier. That's a little tricky. So I'm kind of just starting at my bottom and making that.
I think that's a good start. And now we can start with some leaves. So I'll start. I want it to pick a more dry tree. I'm going to start with this red tree. So grabbing some red and start dabbing around some of the branches we made, like around the tips of the branches. And if it looks like you have an open spot, you can So like here, I'd kind of want some red. So I don't have a branch there yet, but I'm going to just add some red there. And this is more of a medium-sized brush. It's a little smaller. My paintbrush is very wet, and I'm just dabbing. And if I get little speckles around, I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
And because I don't want like just one shade of red in here, I'm going to add a little bit of this orange in here too. And then I'll also add a little bit of brown, or maybe a bit of gold. Because I don't want like it to look like there's just one color in this tree.
Right.
So there's a little bit of
It'll
gold.
look more interesting, more.
Yeah.
More colors. What size are you using? This one?
Yeah. So I'm pretty happy with that for right now. Again, I'll go back and add some more. But for now, I'm going to jump to the next tree and do the same thing. So now I'm going to jump to this green tree. Do some blobby areas. So this is like, yeah, going into fall. So there's still quite a bit of leaves on the trees. There's still some green trees. Like the time of year we're at right now.
Yeah.
Well, at least for us in Michigan.
Well, up north it's
Yeah.
starting to change more.
Yeah. For us, it's
I
there's
see
a
a
few
few.
trees. There's a few trees that are changing here.
How about where you live?
Yeah.
Are your leaves changing yet? Well, if you live south, probably not.
Probably not.
So
You live more north?
Anywhere more north?
Canada?
Canada? Anyone from Canada?
Do you have,
leaves
are
change?
your leaves changing yet?
Yeah.
Are they pretty? I get excited when I see them changing.
Yeah, it's fun. It's very fun.
We have a maple tree that's like fully changing right now. And it's cool. It's like red.
Pretty, pretty.
It's like this color red.
Oh,
It's a good time of year.
yes.
Okay. And soon we'll be doing all of the fall things. Pumpkin patch,
Donut.
donuts, apple cider. Yes.
I love fall.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like here in Michigan, it's like it's very beautiful, but it gets cold fast. So if you have a nice fall day, that is the day.
That is the
Go
day
to
for
all
all of
pumpkin
the
patches.
activities.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is
Because
the day.
next weekend it could be snowing.
Yeah, you'd never know. It has snowed before on Halloween, and
Flora said that she misses the changing season, and Texas has no change.
oh,
Says it
Yeah.
cools down a little bit in the evening, but yeah,
Yeah.
no.
how much change in Texas?
Massachusetts it's starting, but
Okay.
still lots of green.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I have this super green tree here, I want this tree to be a different shade of green. So maybe let's see, what's a good green? Maybe
Either
I'll
more
just
yellow or more
maybe
blue.
a little more. Yeah, I'll put a little bit yellow, more of a yellow green. Okay.
I'm going back to my bigger brush. I just like to look at this one a little bit. So keep switching out your brushes. See which one works for you.
Lots of green in Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still mostly green here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a few trees, like some maple trees. At least that's our tree.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
changing.
seeing some little bit of yellow, like on leaves on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a couple windy days, so we've seen leaves on the ground, but nothing's really like falling yet. Let's see what here. Maybe I should make like a orangey something.
Yeah. I want to add some orange in here. Maybe I'll add the tiniest bit of orange to this green tree. Like it's just starting to change.
Starting to change.
Yeah. Just a few little dots here and there. Okay, just come on. I also want to add some bushes down here. I want to make a deeper red, so I'm mixing some red with some brown. And still doing like this dotty motion. Is that what we'd call it?
No.
Like a splattery, dotted, up and down, dancy. You get it. Just like,
technical.
like this.
Like this.
So it makes little splatters around it. It kind of crunches up the bristles of the brush a little bit. I like it.
Yeah, that's a nice picture.
Yeah. Make some more of that color.
I'll just let you do all the mixing, and I'm like stealing your colors. I'm gonna put some of that by this tree over here.
And yeah, I want the same type of bush right here at the base of this tree. I like it when the base of the tree gets covered by something.
It makes it look more natural.
Yeah, and it's easier to do than trying to make an actual looking branch or tree that's like going into the ground. It's just some of what we do is for looks because it looks better. Other times it's easier.
Yeah.
And why fuss with
why do you think
something that takes longer? Okay. Now I want more green in here. Maybe this is still like some grass, and I'll add some like grass shoots poking out, kind of like this, like more detailed.
I like that.
So this is just like the background for that grass. Because it's still green and lush out. Even just thinking about this painting, it makes me want to go outside right now. Because it is one of those nice days. Yeah, nice fall day.
Unlike yesterday.
Yeah, it's been raining so much.
Just really July yesterday. Ugh.
And I feel like the last whole week it's just been raining.
Yes.
But tomorrow I think is rainy too.
Ew.
But then Sunday I think is supposed to be a nice fall day. Okay. Pretty good grass. I need something in this area. Maybe that. Well, I'm debating if I want to have like another entry to the path or I can cover it with more bushes. And
either way.
Might be easier just to cover it.
I don't know what's
with
going on with
bushes.
mine.
Yeah, I like your broken up greens.
Should I make my path come out, I guess?
Could.
It kind of just stops. I don't know what happened.
I'm gonna add a little bit green
should
here.
I cover it up?
I don't know. I'm still debating. I'm still debating on mine too. So
because I can easily cover this up with green right now.
I mean, I'm kind of at the same place. Like, I think I'm gonna cover it up.
Yeah.
With some.
I think it'd be easier to do more green than more path.
Yeah.
There it goes. Bye. Bye, path. See? Easy. Don't want it? Cover it up.
Easy peasy. And I'm blending and getting some of this green into the red above it. And that's also kind of what makes like some gradations and blending.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm going to add some orange bush or something here.
You blend these more. I'm having some areas of just nothing's really touching yet. So kind of going back over that with just kind of like a semi-wet brush. So I don't really have a lot of paint on it right now.
Okay, it's coming along.
Yeah.
I still wanted to add like more of an orange tree. So maybe I'll do that now. That can be an orange tree right here.
Yeah. It's nice to go back and forth between your grass and your trees so that one will dry while you're working on the other.
Yeah. See, that's it. I try not to use the heater for watercolor painting because I feel like you usually don't have to. It dries pretty quickly. And other times I'm just like, this is the section I want to work on right now.
Yeah. I cannot wait.
Okay. And so yeah, we're this painting's kind of coming along. We have some more vibrant colors here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back up into my trees.
Yeah.
Just gonna add in more.
I need more a little more color on the path again. This is already my third layer on the path. So add a little bit more on that.
I'll put some red on there. Also, it would be good to change out your water if it's looking pretty yucky.
Ours is getting there.
Yeah, we might want to change our water. Because if you don't, your colors will start to look muddy and murky, and you won't get the color that you want. Can you hear her little snore? Isn't it cute?
She's doing some good sleeping. So on this path, I'm adding a few darker. So I have most of my dark color, like on the far edge of the path to kind of line it, and then also bringing some of that dark color down a little bit, just so it looks like there could be like rocks or different textured things in here.
Different textured things, yes. I'm trying to get rid of this red blob I have back here. I don't know what that was.
And then I don't really love how smooth this top of this looks, my path. So I'm going to cover that with a green bush. And
don't worry about covering up your branches because you can go back and put them back in. So I'm covering a little bit of mine to fix some things.
There. There's a big green something.
Big green something.
Green something right there. Add a little bit of orange in front of here. So really it's just filling in a lot of this color. We're getting onto our, this is like, some places it's our second layer, other places it's we're like our third layer. But just making it a little bit darker.
It really starts to come together when you add in the dark.
If you don't like it, it's probably just you haven't added enough layers yet.
Yeah.
You can add too many though, too.
Yeah, true.
So I think it's more likely though that you need more layers if you don't like it. Okay. And let's see, what do we need now? I'm going to add some of like these more background colors. Just needs a little bit darker in a few areas. So my brush is still really watered down the paint. But I just want like some of these areas where it looks like pastels. I don't really want like a pastel looking painting. So just kind of filling in with some different colors.
And watercolors so relaxing.
Definitely. Just like watching the colors mix together, or
It's one of my
just like the
favorite
blending.
mediums because you can control it, but then you can also just kind of
Let it go.
let it go, let it do its thing, and just see what happens. Let's see. So I guess, well, I should probably bring my path to my horizon.
Good.
Or should it just
Or
kind
it
of
could
fade
just
out?
kind of fade away. Yeah. Mine just kind of fades away in there.
Because I could put like a bush there
Mm-hmm.
or something. I don't like my area over here. I'm going back. Let's see. More dark. Yeah, I might just put a bush there.
That's putting a tiny bit of green in my path. It's because there's probably green stuff growing in these nature paths.
Yeah.
Okay, let's come in together. Now I've got a lot of the darker colors in. Come along, and could be time to start doing some more finer details. Wanted a little more color back here. I don't know about that color being brown, but
I think my front is too green, so I'm gonna add a little bit of brown into this. I don't want it to be too green. It's not fun.
we did a scene pretty similar to this in the spring that you could check out too.
Yeah.
So it's like trees. It's another nature scene like this. So you could have a painting with all the seasons.
Every season.
Just
I guess we haven't done winter.
yeah. Oh yeah. We should do a winter scene. Oh, I feel like that could get kind of tricky because
I think that would be
could
easier
look
to
so
do
white
with acrylic.
Yeah. Because it can be a ton of white.
Use a lot of gray
and blue.
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of blue in the winter scenes. I would be humming Blue Christmas probably that entire class.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like blue Christmas scenes. Okay. We just got to remember to do that.
Yeah, write that down.
Yeah.
So just keep playing with your foreground and your background here until you like it.
Mm-hmm.
I would say get it pretty close to how you want it before doing those last minute details. I mean, you can always go back and forth, but it'll still be some time.
I've got a lot of my darker colors in, and I think this is a good background. And now I can start adding a few details. I mean, you could go just crazy with details.
Yeah.
I don't like to go super crazy. I usually say when I'm like getting bored, that's when I'll be done.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't like to make it look like perfect. And that stresses me out. Like, no, I want it to be looser, more abstract-y, because that is easier for me to paint. If I try it too hard to make it look more realistic, then I mess up.
Yeah. And again, I'm just drawing it because I feel like pretty much everywhere it's ready for more detail. And I want the layer behind to be nice and dry, so when I'm adding these details, especially on the trunks of the trees, it's not just flying throughout the entire thing.
I'm gonna need some more paper towels. Pretty saturated.
Okay, at least my area over here seems pretty dry. So I'm going to add a little bit more to the trunks, another layer. So really these trunks only had the one layer. When I am going in to make these darker, okay. That is way off.
This is getting pretty yucky. Ooh. It starts looking like...
yours is like black purple.
Yeah. When it starts looking like coffee and tea, you need to whip it out.
Okay, so I don't like to make the whole thing dark, like the whole tree trunk. So I like to just make one side dark and then keep that as the dark side for all my trees. Because my light source is like the sky right here, going to have the shadowed side of the tree be on the left here. So that's the part I make darker and then blend it over. Look at that.
Nice.
Fresh water. I feel like I could just go with dirty water for forever.
Yeah.
It's just a dingier painting.
True.
But I still want this other edge to be a little bit more defined. So adding a little bit of color there. Adding some dark areas. This is almost like a black brown. And then I want it darker towards the base of the tree too. So I'm okay with that for right now. Move on to this one. Same thing. Have the one side a little darker. I don't make the whole thing darker, especially as it gets into more of the green part, because I want it to look a little blurred behind the leaves over there. And then also add back some of my branches. You can see them a little bit. Going to add them a little bit more and add a little bit darker. Give them some good length. Branches can stretch pretty far, so. Ooh, that's a dark one.
My horizon line just keeps getting higher and higher. Whatever. Make it work for you.
Yep.
I'm just kind of, I wanted something more in my background, like bushy wise. Because I don't know, it was just missing something. When in doubt, add some bushes. Right. Start working on my branches and trunks.
And I'm also going to add a few smaller trees or branches poking out from here. Actually, make a smaller brush. Is your brush good? Good small?
Yeah, I think I'm good for now. Still a little bit wet right here.
Making these branches, especially the small ones, grab a smaller brush, and that'll really get you like that stick looking edge. So I can really taper these to a point. Especially these little ones in here. I want quite a few poking out. Maybe I'll mix a little brown with the red or with some orange to get a few different shades of brown going here. And anywhere that I had big fluffy is it some leaf or leaf section, I'm going to make sure to have some branches connecting it. Maybe somewhere in here we'll have a nice crooked branch too. I like to include a couple of those.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is nature, there'll be fallen trees. There'll be some crooked branches. Maybe a nice leaning one over here. Like, where do I want it? Maybe just one going right off the edge. Could be like a connected tree with this one. And I'll add some grass in this grassy patch. So still using this fine tip brush. And I like to add like sections. So I'm not going to make this whole area filled with little grass lines. Just pick a few sections to draw some grass at. And more in like clumped sections.
Yeah, it does look more natural that way.
Oh, there can be a clump. Maybe over here. And I'll add a few different shades of green around here too. Maybe over here, and some grass.
If you get your brush drier, then you can make it like stringer like that. The brush do the work for you.
And want a lighter shade of green to do this too. I'll mix some yellow in with that green. Go over it again. And then I'll do it again with just some yellow. So just like some yellow branches or grass strands.
I'm kind of adding some more bushes in too.
Doing bushes is good to do with a more dry brush too. Get some of that texture in there for you a little easier.
Yeah, I had to cover up some of my trunks because I was raising my horizon line. And I didn't want all my trunks to be so far down.
Now, like at the base of these more grassy areas, I'm adding a little bit darker green just to blend it into the rest of it. Just so it doesn't look like these grassy areas are just randomly floating. Like they're more on like a tuft of something.
Yeah. Tuft of something.
Gives you a little bit more dimension there too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same with your trees too. Go back and add a little bit around it or underneath it if you covered it up.
I'm gonna grab some of this brownish red and add some texture to these bushes. And this is a more dry brush. So I get a little bit of texture in there a little easier. And I'm gonna also go over my path for probably the 5th time now. It just keeps getting blurred in with the rest of it. So still defining this edge a little bit. And then blend it down. Path. And what? Yeah, okay, you're going with some of the tree branches.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
I
go
want
in a
some
little
texture
bit more.
in my bigger, closer tree. So my trees in the back, I'm gonna leave them kind of blurry.
Mm-hmm.
Give the illusion of depth here.
And I'm still trying to concentrate most of this color on where the branches are.
I'm just kind of going all around. I don't know what I'm doing. Just play with it. See how it looks.
If you don't like it, there's always another piece of paper you can start over with.
Or just add another tree.
Yep. And a little bit more of this red tree.
I think my path needs a little.
The path is kind of tricky.
Something. It is tricky
because it disappears.
I want it to stand out.
Yeah.
But
not too much.
Too detailed. Either.
Yeah. Like you want it to look like a path, but yeah, not.
But also not.
Not like whoa! Look at that! Path. Look at the painting of just the path. Also want a little bit more happening with this bush over here.
Gosh, just be smaller. I think paths would be easy, right? But
Yeah, just a little line.
be kind of tricky.
Let's see, what do I want to add now?
If you don't like some of your branches, go
Yeah.
back over again with some more leaves. Like
Mhm.
mine are looking a little too sticky outy. Going back in.
Add a few more branches. A few more twigs in the brush here. I feel like you could add twigs for forever.
Yeah.
And I like different shades of twigs. So some of these are more red, some more orange, some more yellow. And I'm not just like randomly putting sticks all over. I'm kind of imagining them going to like one bottom piece, like how a bush would actually be. And I'm gonna add a few in the background here too.
Think you're done, or
Yeah.
keep going?
I mean, you could keep going,
all day.
for a long time, yeah. But yeah, I think this is pretty good. I want to add a few splatters.
Oh, gotta
because I
have
love them. By my green tree. Just going to get some really wet paint here. Add some green. And I'm okay if this green splatters all over. I think this is a really fun way to add a little bit more texture.
a little fun
And like a little bit,
whimsy.
yeah. I love it. Add some down by the tree here. Maybe move.
Yeah,
move around. Everything can use more splatters. I don't want a lot in the sky area, especially the green, so I'm just going to pick up some of that. And then do some orange by my orange things. And these bushes down here. My splattering baby. No, not yet. Not yet. Baby has no splatters yet.
I do.
Oh. And same with the red. Oh.
I'm wearing a baby as an apron.
Yeah. Ava is the icon.
Love splatters. We splatter everything. Scrapbook pages, cards, paintings,
and especially this tree.
Our tree.
I want a lot of yellow splatters all over the page. I just like it. Love it. Cool. In this complexions Prima watercolor kit, there's like this shimmery color.
Oh, yeah, I like that one.
I'm gonna add some of that. My page isn't completely dry everywhere, so some places this yellow is blending in. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm. I like that look.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
I keep fussing at it, but I think I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just kind of
This
defining my path.
Yeah,
a little bit more.
this tree got a little blurry. I could define that a little bit more. Yeah, it's really dance. Just go back and forth until you're happy. Yep. If you're sick of it, you could set it down for a day,
Yeah.
come back later, or you could just leave it how it is.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna untape it. Here's the best part.
There it is. Sorry, I don't want to cover up your untaping. Satisfying untaping.
So crisp lines. If you pull at an angle, you'll get a better peel.
I was just
line.
thinking while I was looking at it a little bit at a distance, I wanted some green over here.
Oh, yeah.
Just throwing it all
Sometimes you
over.
need to look at it from a little bit
Yeah,
further away.
because my bushes were kind of blending in with my path. I think just a little green there to separate it. Okay, I think I like that better.
There you go. Fun.
Jennifer said she's having problems with the details, but needs to step away to make sure. Yeah, step away, let it
Step
dry.
away. Yeah. Come back to it
And then
later.
add some layers.
And don't feel like you need to look exactly like this either.
Mm-mm.
Make it your own. Like, look at ours. They're
Completely
similar but different.
Yeah, yours has a lot more green.
You have more red.
I have a lot more red. More bushes. You have more grass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Ooh, I like looking. So we can look at there's like the
Yes.
screen behind us. They look good from
I
from
like
there. I like them.
Yeah.
Good fun.
Yeah. So
Cool.
if you have painted along with us or paint later, let us see it by
Yeah.
tagging us. We love to see what you create. Okay, let me switch camera. Maybe. There we go.
But thanks for
Okay.
painting along with us
Yeah.
today, or if you didn't paint yet, you can watch the replay and paint
Paint
there.
later at your own pace, maybe.
Yeah.
Pause it.
Pause.
I like to pause things too. But yeah, we can't wait to see what you painted, and then join us next week for our next class. It's not
just not-
posted yet.
Not
We need to
yet.
plan that. But you can always check our classes on our website, cherrytop.com/classes. You'll see our future ones coming up and our past ones and our in-person ones. We actually
yeah.
have a couple things coming up.
Yeah.
So
Sure, check that out.
check it out.
Especially if you're local.
If you're not local, take a road trip.
Oh yeah. They were doing a crop, so
So
that'll be fun. We've never
fun.
done one. So crop, then a
what's the other one?
scrapbooking class.
Yeah, scrapbooking. A fall scrapbooking class. It'll be fun.
So you
Okay.
can see us there.
Yeah. Or everywhere.
And-
Social
or
media. We're around.
everywhere. Yeah.
All right.
Well, bye. Thanks.
We always end these so awkwardly.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining.